All right, guys, so today what we're going to be going over is the catch and the cover, what the difference is, and when we would use them. So there's nothing corrupt going on in the background. It's someone trading, I promise. All right, guys. So one of two things will happen depending on how a person makes contact and what sort of puncher they are, okay? We're going to start with worst case, a real banger, someone that when they hit, they physically turn your body, okay? So this is called the cover. So when I throw my right hand, Matty's going to imagine that he has a shield. And what he's going to do is he's going to absorb that power. You'll notice he's turned his hip, and that's exactly what we want. What we don't want to be doing is trying to muscle it against someone who's a power puncher, and they push us back and leave us open for follow-up shots. So when I try and hit Matty, he covers up and he counters back with the opposite hand. The reason he does that is you notice from this position, if he wanted to use that hand, that's good for punching someone over there. I'm over here. That's no good, but that hand is great. So I've almost put him in an even better position to hit me with. He turns his hip, he counters back, and I'm going to eat that shot. That's the cover on that side. Likewise, if I were to try and hit him with a left hook, countering a hook with a hook is a great shot, because very often what do people do? They throw hooks like this. He's got a great defense, I've got a terrible defense, and he counters back, boom, and I'm going to eat that shot, okay? So you'll notice he's turning his hip, he's defending with one hand, he's countering me back with the other hand. That's what makes it a cover. So whether it's from their right hand, where you defend with your left and punch with your right, or whether it's against a left hook, where he uses his right hand for defense and his left hand for offense, that twisting motion is what makes it a cover. What you can also do when you're a little bit more intermediate to advanced is rather than absorbing the shot, you can deflect it with your forearm. So when I'm going to throw that shot, Matty does the exact same thing, but you'll notice he's just twisting and he's deflecting my power with his forearm. So rather than absorbing any of the power, he deflects it, he brings my head forward, and I'm right there for the picking, okay? So when you start out, it'll probably be easier to absorb the shot so that you develop the body mechanics. And then after a while, you'll get a better read for it. You'll see the shot coming a little bit earlier, and you can deflect it with that forearm. Boom, boom, and counter straight back with that right hand, okay? Or if it's off the left, we cover up and we counter. So that's the cover when we're defending with one hand, punching with the other. What if the person isn't much of a power puncher? Why are we going to waste energy? So there is something called the catch. And from this, we go to a high guard position. What that is exactly like this. Matty's giving himself horns. Now, this is good when you do the catch because your hips aren't going to twist. It's not good if you're doing the cover. If I do the cover, you'll notice I can't see anything. But because my hips aren't turning, I can see straight down the middle. If I swing at Matty and he's got his high guard, he can see me straight down the middle. If he did that exact same thing, but he turned his hips, now all of a sudden he can't really see where I am and he doesn't know what's going on. So the catch is fine to give yourself horns because you're not turning. The reason you're not turning is the person's maybe a bit of an arm puncher, they're a bit of a slapper. This is when people start out. But even at the high level, someone like Danny Garcia, you'll see use this catch counter a lot. What you do then is you're not going to twist your hip. Matty's going to defend with his left hand and counter back with that exact same hand because I'm open. I haven't done enough to physically move his body, so why is he going to waste the energy? He's just going to put his hand up and sit into that counter. Beautiful shot. Likewise, if I throw that left hand, I try and hit him here, he can counter straight back down the middle, and that's a great shot. And exactly what Matty's done here is he's absorbed the power and twisted his shoulder. That's where you're going to get the force. Because otherwise, if you're just extending your arm, it's going to feel very weak. He absorbs and he, boom, here. When he does it on the hook on the other side, he drives his heel down into the floor. Defend, drive the heel down, and that's where he's going to get the power for that hook. So that's the difference between the cover and the catch. With the cover, we defend with one hand, we twist our hip, we counter back with the other hand, whether it's off the right or off the left. If the person doesn't physically move you, we can go to that high guard position. We don't turn our hips. That way we have access to using the exact same hand. That's the catch and cover, guys. Matty, anything you want to add on that?
Right,
no? No? Perfect. There you go, guys. Enjoy, add it to your game, and start beating people up. Thank you.